Is there a question that's bothering you? What should we do if we haven't a clue? Ask Tim!
At some point you may well have found yourself asking the question, why on earth do we attempt to do worship with all ages in together as a church? Well, to answer this valid question, we need to hop into my very convincing time machine and head back 2,000 years to the earliest days of the Christian church. Whoa! You can tell I have a working time machine from my very authentic period costumes. In the Roman world, society was completely divided up into different categories, so the wealthy Roman aristocracy would never ever socialise with the plebeians or hoi polloi, their social inferiors. In fact, Roman society was clearly divided up into various subgroups with a clear dividing wall between them. You had Jews and Gentiles, non-Jews, slaves and free, males and females, and none of these pairs could easily mingle in public, even if they had wanted to. But then into this clearly structured society came a movement of people who seemed to want to demolish this clear dividing wall. One of the leaders of this new movement, a chap named Paul, wrote the offensive and outrageous claim that there is neither Jew nor Gentile, neither slave nor free, nor is there male and female, for you are all one in Christ Jesus. These early followers of Jesus began eating, socialising, and even worshipping together. It was a messy process. They had to unlearn generations of ingrained behaviours, but bit by bit they did it. And as they did so, they began to find that what they were a part of wasn't a organised, carefully structured religion, but rather a family. But what does all this have to do with all-age worship? Well, deep in the DNA of Christianity is this idea that we are family. And so at various points we try to come together as a whole community to do worship in a way that includes everyone. Of course, all-age worship doesn't always work for everyone all the time. That would be impossible. You may well feel that bits of it are somewhat below you. Or you may feel that chunks of the service are totally boring. But the point is that we're trying to do this all together, and in doing so that says something deep about who we are as God's church. Just as 2,000 years ago, Jews and non-Jews, slave and free, male and female gathering together said something massive in the context of the world that they were operating in. In fact, I'm convinced that God is delighted when people throw themselves into worship, which is clearly designed for a different demographic, because that is worship that costs us something. Well, hopefully that explains why we do all-age worship, and if you have any other questions, well, drop me an email, and, well, I'll let the jingles say the rest.
Is there a question that's bothering you? What should we do if we haven't a clue? Ask Tim!